Good morning all. My name is Madi Wahyuni from Group 1. Now I would like to continue my friend presentations and our topic is about discourse and semantic. So now I would like to explain about indexicality and anaphor and also about presuppositions. Indexicality or deixis is the only area of meaning universally acknowledged to belong in the area of discourse or pragmatics, since it pertains to the contextual determination of reference which necessarily precedes a decision as to the truth of falsity of an assertion. Indexicality encompasses the feature of a language that refer directly to the circumstance or context in which an utterance takes place. All language has the capacity for indexical function, but some expression and communicative events suggest more indexicality than do others. An indexical expression such as today, that, here, utterance, and you is a word or phrase that is associated with different meaning or reference on different occasions. In conversation, interpretation of indexical expression may in part depend on variety of paralinguistic and non-linguistic features such as hand gesture and the shared experience of the participant. Examples and observation of indexicality. Among philosophers and linguists, the term indexicality typical is used to distinguish those classes of expressions like this and that, here and now, I and you, whose meaning is conditional on the situation of their use, from those such as, for example, noun phrase that refer to a class of object whose meaning is claimed to be specificable in objective or context-free terms, but in important sense, namely a communicative one. The significance of a linguistic expressions is always contingent on the circumstance of its use. In this sense, deictic expression, place and time adverbs, and pronouns are just particularly clear illustration of a general fact about situated language. And the next is about anaphora. The simple definition of anaphora is a figure of speech in which words repeat at the beginning of successive clauses, phrases, and sentences. Some additional key details about anaphora. Anaphora is related to apostrophe, which is the repetition of words at the end of successive clauses, phrases, or sentences. And why do we use anaphora? On the simple level, we use anaphora to give a series of repeated words emphasize. More broadly, anaphora can produce a variety of stylistic effects. It can express a strong feeling, create rhythm in text, whether that rhythm is pleasing, rousing, or relentless, more clearly link two or more ideas through the repeated phrasing, and make a phrase more memorable for the reader or listener, and give a structure to a lengthy list. Common anaphora example. It is common for us to use anaphora in our everyday speech to lay emphasis on the idea we want to convey, or for self-affirmation. The following are anaphora example. Every day, every night, in every way, I'm getting better and better. And the second example is, my life is my purpose, my life is my goal, my life is my inspirations. And the third example, buying diapers for the baby, feeding the baby, playing with the baby. This is what your life is when you have a baby. So, and the next is about presupposition. Is also at heart a discourse or pragmatic notion, since the knowledge and belief of the speaker and the audience about things in the world are crucial in determining whether a sentence like the classic makes sense. Presupposition that is not an entitlement but also cannot be classified as abductive or inductive. Intuitively, a presupposition constitutes a necessary assumption required to understand the meaning of sentence. Example, the example is the king of France is bold. It means there is a unique king of France. Consider the sentence which express the proposition that a particular entity, namely the one described as the king of France, is bold. The presupposition is true just in case it corresponds to outside world. Example, if and only if it correctly describes a state of affair in the outside world in which an entity, the one who corresponds uniquely to the title the King of France, is bold, regardless of whether the sentence is true or false. It assumes that there is a unique king from France in the outside world. This assumption goes hand in hand with the sentence. In fact, it goes hand in hand with the definite article in English. And if you evaluate whether the king of France is bald or not, you must first assume there is a... Okay, that's all about my presentation, and I do apologize. There is a lot of mistake during I explain my material, and the next material will be continued by my friend. Thank you.